Hi guys, this is Abe and today I'll be doing my 2013-2014 College Football Bowl predictions number 4. And today our first matchup is the Pittsburgh Panthers versus the Bowling Green State Falcons in the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. And Pittsburgh has a very good defense, and they have a very good defensive lineman, and they have one of the top quarterbacks in Tommy Savage. They are able to produce turnovers, as you see right here. They have lost to Florida State, but have beat Duke and Notre Dame. They finished the season 6-6 and a 3-5 record in the ACC in their first year in the ACC. But this should be a very fun matchup. They have a very run-downhill offense, just like Wisconsin does, similar types of offense. And yep, I'm just going to see how Bowling Green State will match up against Pittsburgh, and this should be a very fun matchup to watch. And Bowling Green has beat NIU, which was a very impressive win, but they do have losses to Indiana, Mississippi State, and Toledo. They finished the season 10-3 with a 7-1 record in the MAC, and they also won the MAC. And by shutting down Jordan Lynch and the Northern Illinois Huskies, this really solidified the spot for David Clawson to be the new Wake Forest head coach, and he's a very good head coach, and I want to see how Bowling Green will play without him coaching on the sideline. But Bowling Green was able to shut down Northern Illinois, but I do have Pittsburgh winning 24-31 over Bowling Green. I just feel like Pittsburgh's a better team and a very more well-coached team. And the next bowl game we have is the Poindexter Bowl in San Diego, California. And this will be featuring the Northern Illinois Huskies versus the Utah State Aggies. And this should be a very fun matchup to watch. These teams do align well against each other. Northern Illinois was one win away from going to the BCS Bowl, but a loss to Bowling Green really did not help them. But as you can see, they can play with the big boys like Purdue, and they should be a very fun offensive duo to watch, and I can't wait to watch this game. Northern Illinois was able to beat Purdue and Iowa in the Big Ten. Iowa actually did pretty well, so that was a very good win, but that Bowling Green at the end of the year really hurt them, and maybe they could be playing Baylor right now or UCF, but I feel like this should be a very good matchup to watch, and Jordan Lynch is a very dynamic quarterback, and he did go to the Heisman, which was a big honor for him, but they have a very good offense, but I want to see how Utah State will be able to shut them down if they can. But yeah, now on to the Utah State Aggies, which had their starting quarterback Keenan Allen hurt for most of the season, but they were able to. Gary Anderson, who coached them last year, who's now at Wisconsin, well, probably might have hurt him this year. But Utah State is a very good team, but injuries did really hurt them. Chuck Keenan's a very good quarterback, but injuries really did hurt him, and the injuries this whole time did hurt this team. But they were able to make the Mountain West Championship, to play Fresno State, and I want to see how they would match up. Both of these teams could have been in a BCS Bowl if they would have had better seasons, but this should be very interesting to watch, and they have very well-talented teams, and I kind of feel like Utah State maybe should be in the Pac-12, but that's just my opinion. But I can't wait to watch this game on the 26th, so yeah. And both teams have very high-powered offense, and Gary Anderson's son, who coaches Wisconsin, is on this team, and he'll be watching too. But I do feel like Northern Illinois is a better team, so I have them winning 31-27 over Utah State, and just Jordan Lynch is why. Now on to the Military Bowl in Indianapolis, Maryland, which features the Marshall Thunder and Her versus the Maryland Terps. Marshall has a very high-power offense, but has struggled with teams like Ohio, which has not been playing as good as the ball, and got beatly bad by East Carolina. But Marshall did lose to Rice in the Conference USA game, and like right here, they were struggling with the Tulsa team, who was 2-8 so far. But Marshall does have talent and does have the ability to beat Maryland. And Maryland has had an up and down season. They came into playing Florida State ranked number 25, but then lost really bad, and that their season just went down from that. They did beat Virginia Tech, but lost to Wake Forest, and the season just been up and down. But they do have a great quarterback in C.J. Brown and a very, very, very good defensive backs right here. They have to fight through injury. C.J. Brown has been hurt most of the year, but when he's healthy and when he's playing, this team is a very good team. And Stephon Diggs, who's a very talented wide receiver, and he does create a lot of plays for this Maryland team. And this Maryland team has rebounded with Randy Edsall, who has brought the program back, and they're going to a bowl game, and they'll be going to the Big Ten next year. I want to see how they would challenge them. Rutgers will also be going to the Big Ten with them, and this should be an interesting bowl game to watch. But I do have Maryland beating Marshall 23-17 because Maryland, I think, has better talent than Marshall. The next bowl we have is the Texas Bowl in Houston, Texas, where the Syracuse Orange plays the Minnesota Gophers. Syracuse finished the season 6-6 with a 4-4 conference record, with losses to Northwestern and Penn State. This is the first year in the ACC, and they have done pretty well. They did beat Boston College at the end to become bowl eligible, but this offense has been catching fire late in the season. In the beginning of the season, they really didn't know who was going to be their quarterback, but now they do, and this has been stepped up. Now to the Minnesota Gophers, who will be playing for the coach Jerry Kill. It is a major question if Jerry Kill will coach in this game. Minnesota was in this game last year and lost to Texas Tech in a heartbreaker, but Minnesota has improved. They beat teams like Nebraska, and Philip Nelson has been a very good quarterback, and this whole team has been very, very good, finishing this season with an 8-4 record. And they have playmakers, and they do have talent, and I feel like they have learned their lessons from last year, and that will help them in this bowl game, and just the plays that they have and how physical they are and right here Nelson is just a great quarterback right here, as you can see. And like beating Nebraska was a huge win for them, and that's why I have Minnesota winning 35-27 because Minnesota does have a better team than Syracuse does. Now to the Fight Hunger Bowl in San Francisco, California, featuring the Washington Huskies versus the BYU Cougars. BYU finished the season 8-4, and they are an independent. But BYU has losses to Utah and Virginia, who weren't even bowl eligible. So BYU does have a very, very good defense, and seems like every year they send good defensive prospects to the NFL. Taysom Hill, their quarterback, is a very excellent quarterback who can run and throw, and really that's one reason why they've been so successful. And as you can see, this defense has been very, very good, and just they will, I feel, give Washington problems on offense. And as you can see, Van Voy is just a very good player, and will be going high in this draft. And just the plays they make, and like right here, this is why they've been successful in this year, and I feel like they'll be able to explode Washington's defense, who does not have such a great defense. And right here, this is what makes him such a good quarterback, with the placement of the ball and his accuracy. And now on to Washington, who lost their coach Steve Sarkisian, who went to coach USC. Washington is led by Keith Price and Bishop Sankey, their star running back. Washington finished the year 8-4 with a win over Boise State in Week 1, but losses to Oregon, Stanford, Arizona State, and UCLA. But they do have a very, very good offense. Chris Pedersen will be their new coach for next year because of Steve Sarkisian leaving for USC. But I expect Washington to give BYU's defense a little problem, but I think BYU's defense can handle it. I'm just worried to see how Washington's defense will react to BYU's offense. This should be a very, very fun matchup featuring a high-powered offense versus a run-downhill offense in BYU. And if you guys need something to do, you guys should watch this game, definitely. This will be a very, very fun matchup to watch. And Keith Price will be playing his last game as a college player, and maybe Bishop Sankey too. But I do feel like BYU has a more physical team than Washington, so I have them winning 27-21 over the Washington Huskies. Guys, we are now 3-3 in my bowl picks, and we are at the 500 mark. And I feel like with these picks, we'll get over to that 500 mark and be over 500. But thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and favorite. And thanks for watching, guys, and bye.